Live from Waterford and Dungarvan, this is Waterford at 1 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Sinead. Aherne. Today's top stories. Planning permission's been granted for Waterford's North Quays development. There are fears the country could be heading for local restrictions or second lockdown as growing numbers of young people are contracting COVID-19. Councillors in Waterford have voted against a motion to delay the rollout of 5G mobile networks. And in sport, the Champions League and Europa League draws have been made. Waterford Council has granted planning permission for the North Quays project. The mixed-use development has the potential to create 2,800 jobs on the 8-hectare site. It includes offices, apartments, a hotel, as well as retail, tourism and food offerings. Falcon Real Estate say the total combined estimated private and public investment is over €500 million. Construction works expected to start before the end of the year. Director of Falcon Real Estate, Rob Cass, gave his reaction to Damien Tiernan on Daisha today.
Thrilled, relieved, proud of what the development team in partnership with the council managed to achieve with Chambers and everyone else. The relief is a huge thing because it allows, I would say, everyone to now believe it's happening. It's really happening. It's going to change the course of Waterford's history for good.
Rob Cass says Waterford's an extremely attractive and affordable location.
We have a city in a county that saves talent, 280,000 in mortgages, 12,000 on rent to live here. We have a stunning quality of living. That is attractive. The city hasn't had its love in the last 10, 20 years. Now it's just going to get a huge, I would say, shot, because from experience, when you do these types of investments, everyone else rolls in behind it, and it just creates a huge, massive lift, both in positivity and mindset of positive young people coming back. Young people want to be in a vibrant city, and this gives it. We're going to have the best city centre and best experience in Ireland within 3 years.
The CEO of Waterford Council says they're absolutely committed to delivering the North Quays project. Michael Walsh says today brings an element of certainty.
We've aggregated all the land over there. The developer has done all the analysis, done all the environmental studies, done everything, and we've culminated with a planning permission. And like I said, that brings an element of certainty, and the job of work is to drive on now. I think people are looking at this through the prism of today's eyes with COVID and every other thing, but the reality is the prism that it needs to be looked at is through sort of 3 to 4 years' time. And we'd certainly all, I think, hope to be in a different place then. And definitely, if we can deliver this, and we're absolutely committed to delivering it and working aggressively towards it, I do believe it'll be a really significant catalyst and make a phenomenal difference to Waterford City.
Waterford's one of only 2 counties in Ireland that's recorded fewer than 5 deaths related to COVID-19. That's according to the latest release from the Central Statistics Office. Leitrim's the only other county where the total number of deaths since the outbreak began is below 5. For confidentiality reasons, the CSO only releases figures when it's greater than 5. The stats also show that Waterford's recorded fewer than 5 cases each week over the last 10 weeks, up to and including Friday the 3rd of July. The median age in Waterford is 48. Meanwhile, the country is heading for a second surge of COVID-19 unless the government outlines its clear plan to deal with the virus. That's according to a leading immunologist, as the number of younger people with coronavirus has increased in the past 2 weeks. Of the 23 newly confirmed cases recorded, all were in people under 45 years old, including 15 under the age of 25. The reproductive rate, which measures how many people on average will be infected by a confirmed case, now stands at or above 1. Dr. Tomás Ryan from Trinity College's School of Biochemistry and Immunology says there's a risk we're heading for a second lockdown.
These issues shouldn't be just conversational issues about, well, maybe this is okay, maybe that's okay. We need very clear, strong messaging from government on exactly how we're going to manage these things. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves in the situation that Iran found itself in, that Israel found itself in, that Melbourne is now in, with second surges leading to second lockdowns.
The Data Protection Commission says people's location on the COVID-19 tracker app is not being used by the government. The new app, which was developed by Waterford's Nearform in Tramore, went live on Tuesday and has already been downloaded by over 1 million users. It allows people to be notified if they've come into close contact with a person with the virus. After concerns over privacy, Deputy Data Protection Commissioner Graham Doyle says users choose location settings.
It's not that it's compulsory or a mandatory feature of it, because when you download the app and you go in and and you try, and when you're setting it up, it asks you, do you want to provide this information? So it's clear that there is a consent element, in the sense you yourself are signing up to and agreeing. You give the information if you want to give the information.
Waterford Council has voted against delaying the rollout of 5G. The technology allows for super high-speed broadband and faster connectivity. However, it's been opposed by a number of local authorities across Ireland. Anti-5G campaigners claim the technology impacts on health, what the World Health Organization says is unfounded. A motion calling for 5G developments to be delayed in Waterford was brought before councillors yesterday, but it was defeated by 17 votes to 6. Fianna Fáil councillor Adam Wise rejected the motion, saying that the technology is commonplace in everyday items.
I'm asking this council in its entirety, every single member, to vote against this motion. If you are truly concerned about 5G, when this meeting is over, I expect to see that you will leave your mobile phone behind, you will leave your smartwatch, you will leave your iPad behind, you will go home, unscrew every single light bulb from your house, remove your microwave, remove all items that issue an electronic or internet signal, and then I will take your concern or reason for supporting this motion as genuine. If you are not willing to do that, even if you are one of the proposers of this motion, then I will see it as it is, a hypocritical and even populist move.
Independent Joe Kelly says there were fears around the technology's effects on health, which Councillor Wise strongly rejected.
Most topical in terms of the fear and concerns are an occurrence of brain tumours, breast cancer, leukemia, DNA damage, autism, Alzheimer's, problems with reproductive systems in both male and females, sleep disturbance, fatigue and a reduced immune system, to name but a few.
The fact is, in the UK, where work was done on construction, these masts and antennas, a study was conducted of the 4,500 workers who are working in close proximity of 5G technology for over 5 years, and absolutely zero adverse health effects could be causally linked to 5G.
A Waterford-based drugs counsellor says he's not surprised by reports showing that cocaine is now the second most common drug that people enter drug treatment for. Figures released by the HSE's Health Research Board show that cocaine has overtaken cannabis, accounting for almost a quarter of people seeking treatment last year, compared to 8% of people in 2013. Drugs counsellor Ricky Ryan told Damien Tiernan on Daysha today that cocaine use has spread like wildfire over recent years.
No, that's not surprising, really, when you think about when I was growing up. Cocaine, like drugs in general, were kind of set to the drug group. If you get me the group of people that took drugs. As the years went by, you have GAA people taking coke on weekends. It's after spreading like wildfire. You've bankers taking coke.
Tributes are being paid to a well-known Waterford City doctor. Dr. Edward Grant from the Keogh practice died peacefully yesterday. His colleague Dr. Jeff Plant says he was one of the longest-serving GPs in Waterford.
He's well loved by his patients, and I can tell you there's a lot of patients in Waterford today who will be very sad at his passing and his loss. His patients absolutely adored him. They would wait weeks to see him if need be, and he was an ultimate professional, Sinead. He was a regal gentleman.
He says he'll be sorely missed.
Over the last couple of days, I've been asking for some colleagues to react on how they found him through his years, and the word that everyone uses is gentleman. He was an absolute gentleman. He was a kind and calm doctor and friend, and he's certainly sorely missed by the Keogh practice today. We are all grieving and devastated by his loss.
And Ireland's hosting what's believed to be the first ever virtual citizenship ceremony in Europe. 21 people are being confirmed as Irish citizens this afternoon through an online video call. The last in-person citizenship ceremony took place in March, but some candidates couldn't take part due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Haidong Wang and his wife Shiming Zhou can't wait to become Irish citizens from the comfort of their home in Dublin.
We were really happy to become Irish citizen, actually. We've been in Ireland 7 years now. We gave birth to our daughter here in Ireland.
Super excited to be invited as probably the first group of people who will be naturalised as Irish citizens in the online ceremony.
Sports news on WLR.
With Virgin Media Waterford. Want super fast broadband today? Drop into Virgin Media George's Street and take it home with you. Easy as that.
And a very good afternoon from here in the sports desk. I am Nigel Kelly. We will start with the Champions League draw, where Man City have been handed a difficult path towards a potential final. The draw for the quarters and semis have been made this morning for when the competition resumes next month. City bring a 2-1 lead into their last 16 leg with Real Madrid, and if they come through that game, they'll face either Juventus or Lyon in the last 8. The winner of that quarter-final will go up against one of Barcelona, Napoli, Munich or Chelsea in the final 4. Barca and Napoli are level at 1-1 ahead of their last 16 leg, while Bayern Munich have a 3-0 advantage on Chelsea. The other side of the draw is much clearer. Leipzig will take on Atletico Madrid in the quarter-finals, and the winner of that will go up against either PSG or Italian side Atalanta. In the Europa League draw, Man United and Wolves could be back on track to meet each other in the Europa League semi-final. United will bring a 5-0 advantage into their last 16 leg with Lask and would face either Copenhagen or Istanbul Besiktas here, apologies for pronunciation. Should Wolves get the better of Olympiacos to reach the last 8, they'll have a difficult quarter-final against either Roma or Sevilla. On the other side of the draw, we have Wolfsburg or Shakhtar, who will go up against either Frankfurt or Basel in the quarters, and the winner of that will be paired against one of Inter Milan, Getafe, Rangers or Leverkusen in the semi-finals. Moving to the Premier League, where Man United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is adamant they deserve their penalty in the last night's 3-0 win over Aston Villa. Opposite number Dean Smith described the decision to award the spot kick as disgraceful, but Solskjaer insists the officials did the right thing.
I think the boy, he's done a Zidane turn, and the boy stuck his leg out and Bruno's landed on him. So if I try to jump away from someone and I land on someone who tries to tackle me, it's a penalty.
In the Championship, both Fulham and Cardiff can move a step closer to securing a playoff spot tonight. They meet at Craven Cottage, with Fulham knowing a win will send them third for the time being. Cardiff can consolidate 6th place if they come away with 3 points. That kicks off at 8:15, while at 6 o'clock Huddersfield can move further clear of relegation if they get the better of bottom side Luton. In golf, Graham McDowell tees off his second round at the Workday Charity Open in just over an hour. The Ulsterman is 4 under par in Ohio and just 3 back from the lead, which is held by American Colin Morikawa. Shane Lowry is also well placed on 3 under. The Open champion gets his second round underway just before 6. And in racing, there is racing today at the Curragh and Kilbeggan. The card of the Curragh is off at 4:15, while the meeting at Kilbeggan gets underway 10 minutes later. Sports news on WLR is thanks to Virgin Media Waterford.